favorite spot, me and my wife. I'm gonna trout fish, she's gonna look for mushrooms. It's about 20-30 minutes from our house. But just a couple of days ago, I went to like a church gathering today and got to talk to a bunch of guys and like a breakfast. And it just made me, first of all, it reminded me of what I have in my life. My wife just the other day was saying, you know, because I've been working very hard over the last 7 years to make myself successful, and it hasn't happened in the process that I prayed and hoped for. But she said it's because you strayed from God a little bit, you know what I mean? Depending who you ask. But I mean, somebody might say a lot if they're a pastor or something, but I really wasn't bad, but I wasn't good. And so she just reminded me of that. But this here reminds me of what we have, what we have at our fingertips. A beautiful home, beautiful life. We get to jump in the car and drive for 25 minutes and go to this beautiful place where there's trout, steelhead, and beautiful trails that go for miles. Total wilderness. I mean, this is basically our backyard. So I just want to remind my wife, say hi, wife.
Hi, wife.
I just want to remind my wife that how blessed we are. How blessed we are that we have the opportunity to even do this when 99% of the world doesn't. They don't have this opportunity. They can't jump in a car and drive. And there's a million reasons why they can't. But one of the main ones is they don't live in a place like this. So I just have to look up to the sky. Thank God that this is the situation we're in. Is it perfect? No. Are we trying to improve it? Yes. But you have to be happy with what you got. You know, that's my bouncing all over the place. Our road sucked. But that's my mission of this video, is just to remind you, be thankful for what you got. Look around, look at your blessings, family, job, career, loved ones, toys, whatever it may be. Just be grateful for it, and don't pine for greater things, because it's all in God's due time. And thank God for what you got every day. That's my mission statement for the day. I'm going fishing. So we are in our happiest of happy places, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's these gigantic white pine trees, and these are huge, man. Like 300-year-old trees, huge. There's a big one there, and there's a big one here. And it just doesn't do it justice, but these are magnificent trees, just incredible. But this is our favorite place, and this has got a little story behind it. I'll tell you quickly. That originally my wife had a beautiful house. She wanted to buy it for us in another town, and they sold it out from under her because we couldn't afford to buy the whole 160 acres that came with it. So she ended up moving to a small house, you know, several miles away, 100 miles north. And she didn't know that it was on the snowmobile trail, and she didn't know that there was this beautiful river nearby that has trout and salmon and these beautiful trail systems. It's just amazing, right? So she was kind of bummed out. She didn't have the big 4,000 square foot house for me to come home, and didn't matter. God put us exactly where we needed to be. He put us right, like he had a special surprise for us. I didn't care. I just got out of prison. I don't care, as long as I had a house. Then I discovered this river, and I could not believe there was salmon in it. And I just discovered last year there's trout in it. It's just so beautiful back here, man. Listen. It's incredible. Well, we got about a mile walk, so I got Maria's looking for mushrooms up ahead, and I'm admiring the giant trees. But it's so peaceful and quiet, and we love it. This is our happy place, and we come here a lot. But this has been like the first time we came together this year because the weather just finally got nice. It's so freaking dope. Sun's beaming. I'm gonna be tan. Just saying, it's an incredible spot. I'm out. Getting back to this river. This is like it's a spring under there. Dude, it's such, I just climbed on my hands and knees. Look at my foot just smashed down into that. You gotta go through this mud bog. Under these trees. So you hear me stepping in the mud. Truly a pain. I'm stuck in the freaking mud. Hands and knees right now. Hands and knees. Look at me. No joke, man. Oh, I'm stuck. I just wish there was an easier way to get to this freaking river, man. My goodness, it's horrible. I think I go. Yeah, I gotta go through here. Oh my goodness. I'm still a long ways out here. Somebody made this like log bridge at one point. You gotta go this way. Man, I just wanted to share with you how hard it is to get through here. I don't want to go over there under that tree. It's too tight of a hole. I'll go this way. Through all these roots and sticks. Man, my legs are burning like a workout. Yeah, so here's the easy part. This is I literally have to sit down and take a break right now. Man, I just started filming 2 minutes ago. I've been crashing through back here for, 10, 15 minutes. I'm out of breath. It's just so laborious. So much exertion. And to be perfectly honest, this isn't even really that bad. It's pretty bad. But I only have to go like 300 yards. When it's bad, you gotta go freaking a mile. It's remarkable, the setting. But the reason why there will be trout here, the reason there will be trout here is because it's so hard to get to. So that's the reason I crashed my way back here. It's super hard to get to. Not super hard. I go to a lot of worse places than this. But the fact that it's very hard to get to, it keeps regular mortal people, if you will, from coming back here. And therefore, nobody's fishing. And therefore, there's brook trout, big ones. Not huge, but I've caught a couple that I consider huge in here. This is a little side creek that connects to the main branch. That's not where we're going. We're going this way. First trout I get, I'll give you a video. I just want to take a video of where I am because it's so beautiful, so peaceful. This is truly my happy place. The happy places, but it's become very difficult. Like I had to circumvent this log, and coming up the bank over there, it's all muck. What you don't see here is this sand. It's like sometimes it's like quicksand. Your foot sinks like a foot into it, and you're just stuck, and you have to yank it out. And if you fall, you fall. And it's so easy to fall, break a leg, ankle, not catching any fish. So one of the things is, I've been here about half hour, is that I think this is the part of the river that the trout go when it's late in summer, because there's some cold water springs down here. I think the main river is typically cold enough right now for trout, and they're all over the place. But they will come down here and congregate in this cooler part late summer, where I caught a bunch last year, which is the reason why I'm not getting bites every hole. Typically, I get bites every hole and catch a nice fish. But they're just not in here because there's a lot of river. They're all up and down the river looking for, what a lot of them are doing is feeding on the spawn of walleye and suckers and bass. They get and they eat them, eat the spawn bags or the eggs. So I'm just kind of poking through these holes that typically have had trout last year, but I'm not getting any. So that tells me something's up. I should be getting bites. Doesn't matter. It's beautiful. I'm just enjoying myself down here, man. It's just so pretty. It's the place to be, man. I don't know, man. I can't speak for anybody else. But speaking for me, this is the dream to me. This is as good as life can get. If I was a billionaire, I'd choose to be right here today. My wife was looking for mushrooms on the main trail up there. And we're together, having fun, enjoying nature, being with God. And really, that's success. I told that to my producer. I said, if we define success as by happiness and joy and contentment, then I'm successful. I've already won. I mean, I have the big movie deal or whatever, but I'm here. So I won regardless. I remember having that conversation with Armand Asante. He's like, I get it, because he lives in a very rural area on a big tract of wilderness and nature, and he understands me. He gets it. So anyway, I'm gonna keep trying to catch some fish. I just want to show you, man. Coming around this freaking fallen tree was a nightmare, and And it gets worse too. Like I actually went through a lot worse already. Sucks. This quicksand crap is no joke. Ball and break a neck easy, or ankle. How to make a video. It never does justice. Crashing through this cedar swamp, right? And there's these springs that pop out of the side of the hill that go down to the river. And they're right down there. If you look, that's why there's a dip in the earth right there, and it's all the soil is black. So it's like muck or quicksand, and it's legit quicksand. So if you step in it, you're screwed, right? You might go up to your knees, and it just can't get your foot out. I've had many times where I was trying to pull my foot out and like almost fell and broke an ankle. By the grace of God, I didn't. But I like to show you this. This is what you're traversing when you're trout fishing, and it looks like no big deal. This weave between it is. Trust me. I come home all scratched up, and I'm breaking all those branches you hear against my bear skin. Speaking of bear, I heard something a little while ago. It sounded like a bear. I started talking just to make sure I knew. See, now this is where this looks like normal ground, right? But if you get any, look at this, my footprint from when I came through. Step in that and you're screwed. So you got to stay up inside a hill farther and just break brush. Cedar swamps are some of the worst. I mean, I don't know. If I had to ask which is worse, a alder swamp, like a beaver swamp, alder swamp, or cedar swamp. This is easier typically, but if you have these springs where this ground in here is all quicksand muck, then that's the hardest thing you can go through. It's horrible, man. Freaking, you'd be out of breath for 5 minutes and standing there stuck in the mud going, what the frick am I gonna do now? I thought I'd been gone about an hour. I looked at my clock, I've been gone for freaking almost 2 hours. See, this is the point here, right here. I have to step in this. I have no choice. Sometimes it won't go deep, sometimes it will. See, this time it was good. I just went about a boot deep. Yeah, crash. Oh, crap. Man, it's so physical, man. It's like funny because people typically think of fishing as not a physical activity. Look, I can go straight through there. See that water in there? There's a spring down there. If this branch breaks, I almost did. I can't even step there. I'm gonna lean on this tree. Gotta lean my foot on this because I can't step on that log. You could go down 5 feet. Yeah, fishing. People think it's not physical. I'm like, dude, you don't even know. Come fishing with me. People do, man. I've had younger guys come with me, and they're like, yeah, I can do it. I said, physical, man, it's a lot of work. And they're like, sure, man, I got it. I'm not joking. Had one last year, tap out, 25 yards in the river. Come on, let's go to another river. It's like, this guy was like 35 years old, bail bondsman, but it's a nail bug. But he was sure he could do it. The crazy part is, I was up ahead of him about 40, 50 yards, and I just caught 2 big fish. Caught a big one, and he's like, he didn't believe me. I was like, look, I'll show you. I brought it to him. It's a big fat brookie, like a 13-incher. I was like, come on, there's lots of river here. I said, the reason there are fish here, because it's so hard to get to, the average person won't break the brush and go through the jungle. And all of a sudden I hear him go, man, come on, let's go to an easier river. I'm like, for brook trout fishing, there really are no easier rivers. If you really want to get some big ones, because you got to go where other people won't go because it's just too hard to go. But I took him to another stream where he caught a little rainbow trout. You know, it's easy right from the bridge, literally from the bridge. So he was happy he caught a trout. But I wanted to explore these rivers that were on the map. But I figured they had trout. I just kind of guessed. They looked like they should have trout. And I went in there and bang, bang. I nailed a couple big ones, but he wanted to leave when he saw because, shit, I break my neck. He couldn't handle the physicality of it. He was a sensitive kind of guy, I learned as I got to know him. But feelings, you catch feelings. And I was just like, yo, but whatever. I caught some, and I always do. Although I didn't catch any today, and I've learned something today. That the trout are not in this part of the river in the spring. I have a feeling I know why. Because I think between the smallmouth bass, the suckers, and the walleye, they're all spawning upstream on gravel beds and here and there. They're sitting there eating that. So they're not in these holes. And there's those springs, like I show you. You see that, if you look over there, see all that grass? That's from a little cold water spring bubbling up in the ground and trickling into the river. It cools the river a degree or two. Now you add up, they're all along the river, like 50 of them, and it makes a cool stretch of river. But right now, it doesn't matter because the river's cold. And winter was just ended a couple weeks ago, and the nights have been really cold. So the trout aren't getting these deep holes by these springs. They could be anywhere in the river. And if I had to guess, they are eating eggs from the 2 biggest trout I ever caught. Were about this time of year, and I caught them. They were right behind a bed of suckers spawning, and their stomachs were filled with sucker eggs. I'm not saying they all do that, but I'm just saying that my 2 biggest ever, I caught them both the same day in the same hole. 2 17-inch brookies, huge monsters, and just back to back. I was so excited, I was freaking out. I got Maria on the radio going, "Oh my God, get back here, look at this truck." And then I showed her my first one. She was so happy, snapped some pictures, and then I went back to the same spot. She goes back to walking down the trail, and all of a sudden I hook another one, same size, same hole. And I'm like, "Oh my God, get back here, I got another one." She comes running back, takes pictures, laughing. I was all freaking geeked up. But it was this time of year, we had to walk into a sanctuary there, which is where this huge tract of like 1,000 acres that the owners allow people to fish on it in exchange for less tax paying. So, but you gotta walk like a mile if you don't have the key. And you can actually get the key, but you got to contact them ahead of time and go get it. And so we just walked like a mile and a half. And as soon as I got there, boom, boom, got those 2 giants. And I saw another giant too there. But that was it. That's all I caught in there. A couple small ones, but that's it. Went back later on in the year, same spot, no fish. Just a couple small ones, like little 6-8 inchers. No giants. I fished up as far as I could get to where there's a pond, a beaver pond, and nothing. So, whatever. The fish move around. For example, last year, my biggest fish, and I lost maybe my biggest fish ever, was in this river that I found, very remote, very far drive. It's like 5 hours from my house. And it was, in the first 200 yards, I caught like a 15-incher, lost probably a 17 or 18 incher, and caught like a 12, 13 incher in the first couple hundred yards. So I was doing good. Am I already back to the spot, man? Jeez, I didn't go very far. I'm gonna cross here. This is the thing, I should mark this trail, because if you lose the trail, Maria would be like, "Where is he?" You had to call the freaking DNR to come get me up out of here. Hope I didn't rip my waders. No, I'm a mess though. But that river from last year where I caught the big one and missed and lost the big one, it was I went back like a week later, maybe 2 weeks, and didn't catch nothing. And the river was down. It got a lot more shallow. So something happened. The river got way more shallow, so it wasn't rain or whatever, and they moved to a different part of the river. Where, I don't know. But just like this river, I hit all the major holes in here today. All the holes. You see that dark spot right there? Good hole. First time I ever caught a nice brookie was right up there by those sticks. And then all the way down, boom, 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 hit about 10 holes. Not a bite. So that tells me they're just not here. They're somewhere else eating something else. I saw one fish rise and eat something out the ground, but that could have been a river chub or something. Anyways, still had a blast. Enjoyed myself. This is what I do for fun. I just wade around. I stumble over logs and rocks and boulders and deadfall and crash through the woods. And that was the dream in prison. I say it all the time. Like, I used to dream about this. I was sitting there going, man, someday that's all you love to do. Just be alone in the woods with God and giving him glory and trout fishing, man. My dad took me when I was a little kid one time, and that's all I needed. I was hooked, no pun intended. Look at, see that red tape on there? I put that there last year. So I'd remember where frickin' I gotta get out of here. Look at all these deer tracks going up the bank though. Can you see them? Must be where the deer cross, obviously. Deer tracks everywhere. Oh wait, is that a bear? That's a bear track. Look at it. That's a big, dude, holy crap. That's a big bear. Look at the size of that bear track. Right here. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. Oh, you just can't see it on the camera. But this right here is a bear track. And those claws, that's from claws. And that's from claws right there climbing the hill. And there are some deer tracks. There's another big bear track right there. That's not good. They're around and they're hungry. They're eating baby deer and rabbits and look, my foot is stuck. See that? I gotta wash it off, man. All right, I gotta crash through these freaking woods, man. Maria's waiting for me.